Světý Petrivci.
Hello everyone, my name is Anna Oleksandrivna and I'm an English teacher here at the Petrivsky Lyceum. My student Daryna and I had the opportunity to attend a Europe conference Teach for All 2025, which was organized by the global organization Teach for All in Vienna, Austria. We had the opportunity to talk about different interesting educational issues and how to solve them. We met a lot of people and we were able to present our lyceum, present Teach for Ukraine and Ukraine as a country. Also, we would ask you to listen to Wendy Kopp, Teach for All's co-founder and CEO, and also Sanaya Bharucha, who is the global head of student leadership and voice at Teach for All, and who both were really great help for us at the conference and for all of the students and organizations that work with Teach for All and that try to make education better in different countries. If you're interested in my opinion, I think that students' voice is almost the most important thing that we have in education, because we cannot have effective studying, learning if we do not listen to those who study and learn. And I think that students have a lot of power. They just not always realize that they have it. And in my opinion, we as teachers, educators need to help students realize their potential, help them find their voice, find their ideas, find their power, and put that power into good use. Try to create some projects for their community, just to learn how to live their life as they want and as is useful to them. And this was something that I thought about when we were at the conference, when we visited the robotics workshop for 13, 12-year-old girls who were working on robots and in STEM and not just lying around at home. I looked and heard all of the students from different countries. Some of them are on the student council. Some of them were trying really hard to find a good school and couldn't, but still continue studying. Some of them live in a very remote village, but they still came to a conference because they wanted to make those connections. They wanted to show what they do every day. And I'm really proud of all of them. I'm especially proud of us, honestly, of Daryna, who spent a lot of time and energy to prepare for this conference.
Aww.
And talk about our studying, about Ukraine, about how our children learn. And this is something that's also very important to me. Here in the war, we have difficulties learning. We don't always have lessons. We sometimes have air raid alarms and we are tired and sleepy, but we still continue. We continue learning and studying and helping each other. And I really hope that we continue to do that in the future. So have a listen to all of the thoughts, and I wish you to find your voice, to find your power, and know that you matter and you are powerful.
Can you tell us your name, age, and country?
My name is Wendy Kopp. I am 57 years old and I'm from the United States.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanaya and I work as the Global Head of Student Leadership and Voice at Teach for All.
Can you tell us a story how you created Teach for All?
Well, when I was a student in college, many, many years ago, I thought of the idea of Teach for America. And I thought of it because our generation was, well, people thought of us as the me generation. Like we only cared about ourselves. We just wanted to go make a lot of money. And I thought that wasn't true, that the people I knew in our generation were just searching for a way to make a real difference in the world, to address the inequities in our country. And I thought the problem was actually the recruiters rather than the generation, because all the recruiters were banks and consulting firms asking us to commit just 2 years to work in their firms. So I thought, why aren't we recruited as aggressively to commit just 2 years to teach in our country's lowest income communities. So that was the original inspiration for Teach for America. And it was one of these things that was very quickly far beyond me. It magnetized so many other people. And I spent many, many years just thinking only about my own country because the challenges there are immense, the inequities are immense. And then started meeting people about 15 years later from all around the world who were just determined to do something similar in their countries, including in Ukraine. And that's ultimately what led to the launch of Teach for All as a network of similar organizations in now more than 60 countries around the world who all share a common purpose and kind of vision and values and are learning together across borders.
So you want to just share it all countries, not just America, yeah?
Well, ultimately, I somehow in the beginning, I didn't realize that this idea would be relevant outside of the US. Like, I hadn't had the chance to travel abroad. I knew that my country was not living into its ideals. Like, it thinks of itself as a land of equal opportunity, and I had seen that it wasn't one, that where kids are born really predicts where they end up. And so I was just obsessed with addressing that in my own country. And it was meeting very inspiring people from many other countries in the world, from India or Chile, China, and ultimately Ukraine, who were determined that actually this is relevant in our countries and we really want to build similar movements in our countries. And so it was their initiative coming to us saying, we really want to do this together, that led to the launch of Teach for All.
Yeah, I think your project, if I can call it that, make really lots of innovation from different countries. So thank you.
We thought, why not bring together Wendy's perspective on Teach for All with Sanaya's? That way, we get a fuller, more human story of the organization and the incredible people behind it, creating, inspiring, and supporting this work every single day.
How do you support student leadership, and how educators need to do that?
Great question. So, there's a few different things we do. So, one is how do we grow the leadership and voice of our students? Help them figure out what they care about, what's happening in the world, what they can do to create a positive change around them. And we do this through helping them practice leadership as a skill. So, like any other skill, you start by practicing in small ways, in safe spaces like your classroom and school, because we can't expect students to suddenly turn 18 or turn 21. Oh, now you're a leader, and before that you weren't. We need to build the skills of our students as they're growing up, but also to grow the leadership of our students and learn to work in partnership with them. As adults, we need to learn to let go of our responsibility and share that with them, to share the power that we hold with our students so that we can really work together on problems that we all care about.
Wow, it's really a professional answer because it was really interesting for me to hear that answer from you because I asked that from students and it was really interesting to hear other side. Yeah. So thank you, Sanaya.
Thank you, Daryna.
Let's go back to Wendy's story.
How did you scale this project up so much?
Well, I think it's one of these ideas that just magnetizes people who have a shared sense of values and in a way a shared purpose and vision of the world. And so I think it hasn't been, more than anything at this point, like we've put in place a structure, like a purpose that unites us all, and a vision and a set of values, and then have kind of, I don't know, it's kind of grown organically in a way.
Wow, it's really interesting. To be honest, for me, like a student from Ukraine and a small community, and it's really interesting to hear that story. And maybe you can tell us about the best of fellows and alumni projects.
Wow. so there are so many amazing, there are 15,000 fellows across more than 60 countries.
Wow.
And more than 100,000 alumni. And of those alumni, about 75% are still full-time working on kind of mission-related work. So it's really hard to pick out one person. I feel like what brings, and you've probably met a lot of the Teach for Ukraine fellows, like what brings that whole group together is this deep commitment to doing whatever it takes to make sure that all kids have the chances they deserve. I think what I've seen over time, which motivates me every day in this work, is that when we can find our way to having enough of those people working at every level of the system. So some are in classrooms, and then after the 2-year commitment, others one day become school principals and start working in the administration of the school districts and start working in the government ministries and launch organizations to make up for what goes wrong within the system and launch advocacy organizations. Like when we get to a place where we have enough people working around the whole ecosystem around kids who are all on the same mission and who have networks and relationships and know each other and so are working together rather than just in their individual silos, then we've seen we can change the whole system and get to the place where many, like the outcomes for many kids are different. And so what keeps me going is seeing communities where that is happening. Like we've really seen dramatic examples. Like it started in my own country. Like I saw urban and rural areas where the graduation rate was going up 20 to 30 points and the college going rate was going up significantly. And then we saw the Teach First folks in London accomplish something similar there. And now we're seeing people in Peru to India to here in Austria, like coming together to exercise what we've come to call collective leadership. So that's really what motivates me. And
Yeah, I think projects from Teach for All and Teach For in different countries just change it community. Really, it's make it better. And thank for you for these changes. And I think that's all for you. Thank you, really.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping to orchestrate this kind of continent-wide festival of sharing, kind of all rooted in this commitment to ensuring that you and your generation can lead the future. So I'm excited to see what you do going forward.
Oh, thank you. I will cry.
Světý Petrivci.